The moment this man arrived in a new world, his left hand was immediately chopped off. The monster beside him picked up his severed hand and began eating it as if it were a delicious snack. Watching the monster devour his hand, the man felt terrified. Nagumo, however, was nothing more than a useless alchemist. His only skill was to constantly manipulate the terrain and try to escape. This was the only ability he had. Nagumo kept using his alchemy skills, but he didn't know how long he had been running. Eventually, when his mana ran out, he collapsed from exhaustion. Lying on the ground, Nagumo began to reflect on his past. His experiences over the past few days felt like a dream. Just a few days ago, Nagumo was an ordinary high school student. Every day at school, he was bullied by his classmates. Even so, the girls in his class liked him, especially one girl, Kaori. She once witnessed Nagumo apologize by kneeling down to protect an elderly person and a child, despite the fact that he himself was the one being bullied. Nagumo always sacrificed himself for others, and this admirable quality made Kaori fond of him. She continuously expressed her affection for Nagumo in front of everyone, which made other students jealous. Suddenly, strange light appeared beneath everyone's feet, and from that moment on, their lives were forever changed. The entire class of 20-some students was transported to another world. They were summoned to defeat the demon race and save the human world. This task wasn't something a few heroes could accomplish, so now, everyone in the class was considered a hero. To harness this power, they would need professional training. The general handed each student a status panel, which displayed various data based on their individual characteristics. The panel could also identify each person's vocation. As heroes, everyone's vocation and attributes were extraordinary. Their basic stats were 100 times that of ordinary people, and they had unique vocation skills. Some were light swordsmen, others were berserk brawlers, and Kaori was a healer. Nagumo looked around at his classmates' impressive vocations and felt curious about his own. He checked his status panel but discovered he was just a useless alchemist. When the others saw his vocation, they started to laugh at Nagumo. He had always been weak in the previous world, and now, in this new world, he was still useless. Nagumo had seemingly accepted this version of himself. In the days that followed, the students, led by the general, decided to explore a dungeon to gain experience and level up. This dungeon was like a high-level raid, and it was said to have 100 floors. The deeper they went, the stronger the monsters became, but the rewards also increased. Normally, the students would stay on the first 10 floors to fight monsters and level up. However, today an unexpected event occurred. While fighting monsters, they discovered a rare glowing ore, which was perfect for crafting weapons. Hearing this, one man, disregarding the group's warnings, decided to take the ore for himself. But when he touched the ore, it emitted a blinding light. After the light faded, everyone realized they had been transported to the 65th floor of the dungeon, a place no human had ever reached. In front of them stood a group of strange soldiers, and behind them, a massive monster appeared. This monster was the ultimate boss of the 65th floor. At this moment, everyone realized they had fallen into a trap. They panicked, but the general remained calm and began organizing defenses. The battle was fierce, and many monsters were killed. However, the students who had never been in such a battle were terrified and forgot they were here to save the world. Kaori was so frightened that her legs gave way. The general set up a defense spell, which shattered the monster on contact. In the midst of this crisis, Nagumo used his alchemy skill, which seemed useless at first, to buy the group some time to escape. Just as Nagumo was preparing to retreat, he thought his classmates were covering for him. However, he didn't expect to be struck by a magic cannon blast, a skill that only one of his classmates could use. The bridge, their only escape route, was destroyed, and Nagumo, along with the monster, fell into the abyss. Even in this situation, Nagumo was incredibly unlucky. Surrounded by high-level monsters in the depths, he had no idea how to fight them. Nagumo was still a complete novice, and the monsters here were far